Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the news live on Channel I.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Chamindi Samarasekaran.
And I'm Faisal Bongzo.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa has sent a message of condolence on the death of the former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, in which he commends the late Prime Minister for her commitment to fighting terrorism. He said that Mrs. Thatcher was a friend of Sri Lanka. While the late Prime Minister stamped his impress on the political and economic spheres of a country, bringing it back on the economic landscape of Europe, she also stood steadfastly against the scourge of terrorism both in the United Kingdom and around the world, undaunted by an assassination attempt on her life. President Rajapaksa said, Prime Minister Thatcher visited Sri Lanka in 1985 for the ceremonial commissioning of the Victoria Dam hydroelectric scheme. During a press conference at that event, responding to a question about terrorism and a political solution to Sri Lanka's ethnic conflict, the late Prime Minister had said that with great regard to her own view about terrorism, it has not varied and will not vary. Terrorism must never be seen to win. If it does, it is the end of democracy. There is a democracy in Sri Lanka, and she said she believes that. As in Britain, the problems must be solved through democracy, at any rate by all who believe in democracy. While remembering the late Prime Minister's visit to Sri Lanka, President Rajapaksa, in the letter addressed to British Prime Minister David Cameron, called Prime Minister Thatcher a friend of Sri Lanka and conveyed the condolences of the Sri Lankan government and people. Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe says that he and his party greatly grieved after hearing the death of former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. He added that the late leader had supported the country in many occasions.
And news at home, the government says that it will never agree to the resolution passed against Sri Lanka by the United States at the Geneva Human Rights Council sessions. Foreign Minister Professor G.L. Pires told Parliament yesterday that the government is not prepared to act in accordance with this resolution.
The position of the government is very clear, and I wish to state it explicitly on the floor of this House. We do not concur with the resolution, and our representatives in Geneva distanced Sri Lanka very clearly from the content of the resolution. This resolution calls for an oral update on Sri Lanka to be presented by the United Nations Commissioner for Human Rights at the 24th session of the Human Rights Council to be held, Mr. Speaker, in September this year. Oral update. That is not the end of the matter. The resolution then goes on to require the Commissioner to submit a comprehensive report followed by a discussion at the 25th session of the Human Rights Council, which will be held in March 2014. So what is the effect of this? Every 6 months, this country is going to figure in the agenda of the Human Rights Council. That is one of the most important objectives that have been achieved by the resolution that was adopted a few days ago. Now, Government of Sri Lanka does not accept this position. It never has, it never will. There is absolutely no change in that position. The reason, Mr. Speaker, is very simple. As we survey the global landscape, can anybody in their senses seriously suggest that Sri Lanka is the most troubling situation in the world? There is no proportionality in this at all. Why is it, in an increasingly troubled world, where there are so many crises which are crying out for attention, how is it that this country, which is living at peace with the violence of 30 years behind us, how is it that this country is being specifically targeted in this way? Why this selective treatment?
The Paddy Marketing Board has purchased 125,000 metric tons of Maha season paddy from farmers spending 4.09 billion rupees. The Paddy Marketing Board is purchasing paddy from farmers at agrarian service centres in northwestern, Ampara, Anuradhapura, south, north and east zones. Large stocks of Nadu and Samba paddy have been purchased at Ampara and northwestern agrarian service centres. The highest stock of 29.7 million kilograms of paddy was purchased from Ampara district. The purchasing price of a kilogram of Nadu paddy was 32 rupees and Samba paddy was 35 rupees. 25% of the country's total paddy production is produced in Ampara zone. This was the first time that a high stock of paddy purchased from farmers in the Ampara district. Regional Manager of Paddy Marketing Board of Ampara District, R.M. Ratnayaka, disclosed that 1,001 million rupees was spent to purchase paddy. All necessary facilities, including stores complexes are there to carry out the paddy purchasing process. Farmers lauded the government for giving a reasonable price for their paddy. A farmer said that mill owners are used to buy paddy at a price of 22 to 23 rupees and the moisture content should be 16%. This price is very low and it is less than 10 rupees per kilo. Therefore, they decided to supply paddy to government stores. Paddy purchasing process was carried out by using mobile vehicles and it was a great relief for farmers. During previous seasons, farmers had to wait for weeks to sell their stocks of paddy. This time they sold paddy without any problems. An official of the farmers' organization said that they had to visit to Ampara 3 or 4 times during the season to present problems relating to paddy purchasing of farmers to authorities. There was no such issue this time. Farmers were given an opportunity to supply their paddy freely to authorities without waiting in queues.
And in other news at home, the Ceylon Electricity Board said that by minimizing wastage of office and household electricity consumption, the electricity bill can considerably be reduced. The Electricity Board requests the contribution from everyone in this connection. Some of the guidelines given by the Electricity Board in this connection include switching off lights and fans at unnecessary times and reducing the frequency of opening the door of refrigerators. A single-door refrigerator consumes 1 unit of electricity per day. A 2-door refrigerator consumes 3 units of electricity. The Electricity Board informs that although the price of CFL bulbs are a little higher, the price of these bulbs can be recovered by the savings it provides in a short time of about 2 years. A contest for the consumers who save electricity was held last year. The Additional General Manager of the Electricity Board, Bandula Tilakasena, said that by this contest a large volume of electricity was saved.
Consumers of domestic consumers had saved about 83 million units of electricity during those 3 months where we had great difficulty in meeting the demand, and that helped us sailing through the difficult period we had during the last year's drought.
Shops and trade stalls in Colombo and suburban areas are full with New Year shoppers even 4 days before the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Rup-eng television crew visited several areas in the island to capture scenes of the New Year shopping. There is a great demand for textiles and ready-made garments in the market, as the wearing in new clothes is a New Year custom. Several New Year shoppers expressed their views to Rupa-Vahini. There are many different styles of ready-made garments suitable for us. Businessmen had good business in the New Year. Everyone is visiting shops to purchase goods in the New Year irrespective of their social status. Prices are very reasonable. Ready-made garments are also cheap.
You're watching the news live on Channel I. More news at home. The Divinaguma New Year Fair, organized by the Economic Development Ministry, is now being conducted countrywide. Consumers have been given an opportunity to purchase essential commodities at reasonable prices at these fairs in 407 main towns. The Divinaguma Fair program will be conducted next Friday, up to next Friday, and the consumers could purchase ready-made garments, textiles, shoes, leather products, rice, coconuts, vegetables, fruits and sweetmeats, as well as products of local industrialists. The New Year Fair began at near the Devanna Oya and will continue till tomorrow. Ministers Tissa Karliadda and Douglas Devananda opened the New Year Fair. Vegetables and fruits cultivated by some of the recipients of Ambagamba Divisional Secretariat area in Nuvarelia are being sold at the New Year Fair in Ginigattena town. And another New Year Fair organized by the Southern Development Authority is being conducted opposite the Gaul main bus stand. Products of small industrialists in the Southern Province will be sold to consumers at the fair. It was opened by Southern Province Chief Minister Sean Vijayalal de Silva. And Minister Professor Tissa Bitharana declared open the Divinaguma New Year Fair at Vincent Pereira Stadium at Yatiyantota today. The Sri Lanka Rup-eng Corporation implements several programs to create awareness on the country's development process among the people. These programs have been produced targeting the government's initiatives aimed at making Sri Lanka the miracle of Asia following the end of humanitarian operations. Focus will be paid on development projects, and documentary programs have been produced by the special unit of Rupavahini on the Southern Express Highway, Mattala Airport, Upper Kotmale Hydropower Plant and the Magampura Mahinda Rajapaksa Port. Several other programs on Panam Pattua and Delft Islands have also been produced. 97 documentary programs were telecast during the past 2 years. The DVD containing 40 documentary programs was handed over to President Mahinda Rajapaksa by SLRC Chairman Mohan Samaranayaka. The Chief Executive of Rupavahini Corporation, Gamini Rasaputra, Head of the Special Unit, Somapala Galage, and the Public Relations Officer, Sunil Disanayaka, were present.
Colombo Mayor A.J.M. Muzammil says that the protest demonstrators created a scene relating to the Meetotamula garbage dump have been dispersed on a court order. He points out that certain groups of people were trying to give false interpretations for this incident. Mr. Muzammil was speaking at a media conference in Colombo this evening. He added that this garbage dump is managed by the Colombo Municipal Council. No one should involve in the Urban Development Ministry for this issue. Outsiders were also brought to carry out this protest demonstration. Everyone knows this fact. This was a political inciting of people. Police had not taken any action against demonstrators since last Saturday. They have not used even minimal power. They have acted with patience. They cannot act without a court order. He expressed his regret on making allegations against the police, which had taken measures to maintain law and order. Everyone, including foreigners, is talking about Colombo and its cleanliness and beauty. He said that he made a request from the Defence Ministry to implement the law to the letter, although the administration of the Colombo city is with the UNP.
And in other news at home, Sri Lankan artists are to conduct a satyagraha at Independence Square in Colombo tomorrow at 4 p.m. against the protest campaign of the Tamil Nadu artists. The theme of the satyagraha campaign is Come and See the Truth. Several artists told a media conference in Colombo today that it was organized with the aim of creating awareness on the true situation in Sri Lanka among the people of Tamil Nadu. Film director Janta Chandrasiri said that this Ajisthana Puja will be conducted with the participation of a large number of artists, sportsmen and women, as well as scholars. And veteran actress Geetha Kumar Singh pointed out that they are making this appeal to artists in Tamil Nadu to visit Jaffna with them. It will help them to see the true situation in the north. And teledrama and cinema actress Upeksha Swarnamali noted that everyone should be united without considering political or personal gains to protect the freedom brought by the president to the island nation.
The State of Palestine emphasized the importance of maintaining dignity and harmony among all communities. This was conveyed President Mahinda Rajapaksa by Palestinian Minister of Religious Affairs Dr. Mahmoud Al-Habash when he called on the President at Temple Crease this morning. The visiting Palestinian minister and President Rajapaksa held talks of mutual interest, mainly focusing on the importance of religious tolerance. He informed the President that he had met with all Ceylon Jamiatul Ulama and stressed the need of maintaining harmony among communities. Speaking on his first visit to the island, Dr. Al-Habash said, Sri Lanka is a very fantastic country with great people. They also discussed on Palestinian politics and the stalled Israel-Palestinian peace process. He thanked President Rajapaksa for Sri Lanka's support to Palestine during the UN General Assembly vote last year from the resolution to grant non-member observer state status to Palestine. He conveyed the greetings of the Palestinian president, repeating the invitation extended to President Rajapaksa to visit his country. Sri Lanka undertakes a program to train a group of Australians on traditional drumming. A group of Australian travellers, including school teachers of Melbourne, are undergoing training on traditional drumming in Ambalangoda area. They are now under training of Professor Karunaratna Bandara. They were brought to Sri Lanka by Kanchana Karunaratna of Kurunegala. The group of Australians has a knowledge on gimbe drumming and it is being used to train them in basic traditional drumming of Sri Lanka.
Yet with local news, several community welfare services, including the awarding of housing aid and financial assistance for schools, have been implemented in Beliatta and Tangala areas. These programs were organized in connection with the birthday celebrations of parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa. Community welfare programs have been conducted for the benefit of low-income families in Beligala, Palyattara and Nugavela Grama Niladari divisions. 2 poor families have been provided with housing aid and financial assistance was given to persons engaged in self-employment and disabled children and for the Beligala primary school. Roofing sheets were gifted to another poor family. The members of the Mahasangha chanted Setpirit, invoking blessings of the Triple Gem on MP Namal Rajapaksa for good health at the Vajragiri Temple in Tangala and Sri Sunanda Viharya in Beliatta. A program to treat people with food was also conducted on the directions of the head of the Blue Brigade, Janaka Sri Varnasingha.
Now we move on to the trading details of the Colombo Stock Exchange for tonight.
A very good evening and welcome to the sports news with me, Javed Bongzo. Sri Lanka has gained the 38th position from the previous 44th place in the international rugby ratings, climbing 6 places up due to the team's achievement in the recent tournament. The Sri Lankan team, led by Lieutenant Yoshita Rajapaksa, won the 5 Nations rugby tournament recently. International commentators lauded Sri Lanka's achievement in climbing 6 positions up in the international ratings. With this victory, Sri Lanka was placed 6th in the Asian rugby ratings. They qualified to play in the Asian 5-nation rugby tournament. The team is now undergoing practices for the upcoming tournament. Anula Vidyalaya Nugegoda won the Inter-School Girls T20 Leather Ball Cricket Tournament organized for the first time. Gautami Vidyalaya Colombo and the Nugegoda Anula Vidyalaya qualified to play for the finals. Gautami Vidyalaya batting first scored 113 runs for 9 wickets. Harshika Madhavi top scored with 63 runs. Kavindya Devamini took 3 wickets while Amasha Pereira claimed 2 wickets. In reply, Anula Vidyalaya scored 115 runs for 2 wickets, winning the match by 8 wickets. Amash Pereira scored an unbeaten 31 while Chamodi Hansika was not out on 29. Harshika Madhavi of Gautami Vidyalaya was adjudged the best player of the tournament.